Hello everyone and welcome to another one of these alchemy drafts, and this is going to be my final Phyrexia will be one alchemy draft because the event stops being around very soon, and I don't think I want to pre-record these and then publish once it's not even available for drafting. So this is the final one, and of course traditional drafts will continue happening normally once every 2 days. So the alchemy card is the Hex Gold Sledge, which is a really strong one. Totally first pickable. You get, a 3-mana 3/2 and the Cavalier for free. And of course, when you equip the Cavalier, it's gonna be a 4/1. With this thing, it is a 4/1 Trampler, totally for free. Kangaroo Bloom is great, and Sentry is good. Volt Charge is great, but I mean, I guess I'll just take the Spinoderm after all. I mean, there's a Planetary Disruption. This is an incredibly strong pack, actually. But this is a very, very good creature. Just I mean, even if you don't get to proliferate any additional counters here, it's going to just be a massive creature that can pressure the opponent's life total very nicely. So with that green card, what's my next thing? I still have only 3 of these, but I mean, you're gonna get these in drafts. Of course, I want to complete the set. This is not an alchemy card. I would pick any alchemy mythic, but this is a main set mythic which has no use in limited, so I'm not gonna pick it here. The best card in the pack, I believe, is the hybrid, but it's a 2-color card, so if I knew now blue and black will be open, yep, I would take it. This might even table. I would be happy with that, but my first pick is really what makes me want to play green, and maybe I can just try to go. I mean, this is not a great card unless you have the support for it. It's gonna be a good card if you do. I'm gonna take the troll. This actually has also oil counters, so I usually don't like to take that so early. And now I'm actually going to regret not picking the hybrid, because if I could have started with 2 hybrids, that would be so good. Anyway, what I was gonna say that is that this is really, I mean, you can't play this in any green deck. You have to have the enough oil things. And it's also a 5-drop which you don't want to necessarily pick early in the draft. I just wanted to, support my first pick because it's such a strong card. And this is a 2-color card requiring that specific 2-color combination to be open. But what we see in here is just pretty much nonsense. I'm gonna take the hybrid now, and if I really could go back in time, I would have 2 hybrids right now. There's like a small chance it's actually coming back to me, but there's also a chance I still, draft green here and I will ignore the hybrid here. For example, here. Now there's a very good card in the Sentry. Scamp is okay. A little bit better than okay. I like this as a 1-drop very much. Mesmerizing Dose, of course, works with the hybrid decks. So if I took the double hybrid by now, I think the Dose would be an easy pick up here. Now that I have this green stuff, I'm actually just taking the Cultivator. This is a removal spell, but this actually is very good with the enabling a turn 3 Spinoderm and just allowing the troll to draw a card. So I should take the green card. That works better with my green picks there. Now I'm gonna actually draft like maybe a 2 decks. I'm not sure, because the hybrid works very well with the synthesizer. Now I could take an Axiom Engraver here. I guess I could be blue-green, proliferate the oil deck somehow too. The Engraver is of course great in green-red oil builds. But both of these, have oil on them. This gets them, this enters with them. And I could be blue-green. I like this because this also works with the Voidwing hybrid. There's a chance I still will be, maybe if the other one comes actually back, I will definitely be blue-black then. Unctus Grand Metatect. What is a Metatect? Or however you pronounce it. Alright, it's pretty decent, but I'm actually, even though it is quite good, it basically makes any of your creatures. You can pay mana or Phyrexia mana to give +1/+1 to any other thing. You get some looting action. But I'm actually gonna take the synthesizer. Let's try to make a proliferate deck here. Maybe. Anything from... I don't know. Should I take the head cleaver to combine with the hybrid potential? Or... Well, there's nothing that has oil here now. Nothing mentions oil here. I could like take the hunter mace too. I'm not taking the 5 mana creature when I already have one. If I play blue-black, I might be interested in the head cleaver. I could take the 2/5/2, but I'll just take this. And a weak-ish pack. Now I can take Thirsting Roots. I could take the Engulfer, but I guess I have one way to accelerate into it. Or I could, set up a red-green oil deck and take a 2-drop, which I, badly need if I won't be blue in the end. I don't know, I think I still take the Roots. It's actually quite decent with the multiple synthesizers. And here. Maybe I'm not playing the red stuff in here. I kind of want to make the blue-green deck work. I will take the Titanic Growth for now. I didn't get the other Voidwing Hybrid, no, because this would be the pack where it is. But this is the pack where I'm actually gonna take finally my 4th one of these mythic rares. Not really interested in any of those. Also, I can maybe forget about the blue-black now and focus on blue-green maybe. I'll just take this guy. Okay, no one took this. I'm gonna take it. It's not supposed to be here. Such a nice card in the specific archetype it fits in. Alright. Phyrexia Scrapyard is a card. I mean, you play this as a... You can't really start doing this early. The stuff that you can discard cards and pay. It even costs mana, so it's not that free early in the game. But the idea why it's bad in the mid game is that you actually have to sacrifice 3 lands. You don't often want to do it. This can be very nice late in the game when you can change your useless lands into something that is gonna produce you a 6/6. But what else does this pack have? Synthesizer, Ruthless Predation. Phyrexian Arena is not even a card I'm actually willing to play in this, at least in this limited format. I think I should take the Predation and hope to get this Synthesizer back. And I think I'm blue-green. I'm definitely not blue-black, so forget about that. Now the only blue is the Synthesizers, but I quite like it. This says whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent button. Yeah, it's not worth playing in limited. Mephidros Slime. Anoint with Affliction. Icroplate Golem. Now, I guess I could still be green-black. I mean, I could just cut these synthesizers, and if blue isn't open here in this direction, I don't think I can really afford locking myself to green-blue here. Now, do I want to take the slime or the... I mean, even this is fun and all, this is just a better card if you are black-green. The golem would work with this plan I have going on here. Should I just go all in with the plan? Man, if I pass this and I get some other black stuff back, I would be miserable. I'm actually taking this. I think I just can't ignore its existence here. So, another mythic rare, sadly not from Alchemy. I'm more interested in the Alchemy mythics now because there's a very limited time when this event is open, and if you want to complete, and I want to complete the Alchemy set, I really need to focus picking the Alchemy mythics, but I haven't really seen them. Okay, there's a Mesmerizing Dose. Now, this is actually a point. Now, this is not the greatest thing. I mean, exiling 3 creature cards from your graveyard, that's not easy thing to do. There are not gonna be always those around. Of course, an 8 power indestructible creature is quite great threat. But if I wanna try to make the synthesizers work, I should take the proliferating removal spell. I'm actually doing it rather than picking the mythic rare. And then I'm immediately getting punished by being past the Nimrazer Paladin, but it's actually not that much of a punishment because there's another cultivator I'm interested in having. There's an Icroplate Golem I would also be interested in having. And yes, now I would hope this to be an Icroplate Golem. Or is it an Icroplate? Anyway, I guess I can still play this if I splash it. But I'm gonna just take a cultivator. Cultivator now. Oh, Troller Drake now. forget about the black unless I'm gonna splash, but this is the card that really, you know, likes proliferating and, well, non-creatures, also oil synergy. This is an easy pick here now. A very strong 3-drop. And another oil gorge troll, which I think at this point I might have, although I could play in this deck the Vivisearcher's Insight with double cultivator. I have some accelerating here, but I think I have enough oil that this is what I should do instead. Gitaxian Raptor, well, that's nice. I do want to have some 2s, but the Raptor is really good. Yeah, I mean, this long legs I would play, and the Skull Bomb is good, but this is a really good one. And the last pack I haven't seen out of this pack 2. Don't care about this. If this proliferated, yes. Now, not so much. This is just, I don't think, very good, especially in my deck, which doesn't have artifacts really. Titanic Growth is, I mean, I can play 2 of them. And here, nothing for me, I guess. Yeah, let's take the uncommon from a pack that I won't be using. Yeah, so someone actually is taking my synthesizers here. Very sad. But I can take the Engulfer now with the double Rustvine Cultivator. Maybe I can play a 6-drop. Not playing the Curator here. 2 instants, 2 sorceries. Not really worth it. And you don't, I mean, also when the opponent knows you have a Titanic Growth in your hand, it's much less useful. So should I just take the 4-drop that, you know, proliferates? I guess I'll do that. Logbook, yeah, no thanks. That's just is gonna be very hard card to play even in a specific, dedicated, you know, artifact deck. You basically need to have at least 4 other artifacts to make this activation 2 mana, and still at 2 it's kind of expensive. You really want to have 5 other artifacts. That's not gonna be easy. And the last pick is a Kinsmith. And I don't see any alchemy rare. This is when you seek. This is not for limited at all. There's not a lot of seeking possible to get because there are so few alchemy cards in the draft. Okay, I guess I'll take something like a Predation Steward in here because I need more 2s. It also works with the troll because oil. Yep, not a great pick here, but it's something I need for the deck anyway. A 2-drop. Okay, so I could have played 3 Voidwing hybrids in this deck, although I think I would have to just take the Anoint with the Affliction over it. Now, I have a Thirsting Roots in here. I have 1 Anoint with Affliction. Can I find Fiction? I saw a Phyrexian Altar in the previous pack. I'm pretty sure it had it. Not totally sure, but I'm somewhat sure. Because here the decision is like a Skull Bomb, maybe even the Insight. I'm taking the Anointed Affliction. It's such a nice card. So now I'm gonna try to splash those things. What do we have here? Another card you could splash for. You can pause and read it. I know what it does because I have actually played with it. It kind of fits all kinds of mana costs, but I think I still just am gonna take the Experimental Augury in this deck. Even if I'm gonna splash black, this is quite clumsy. I'll take the Augury. It works better with what I have. Okay. Well, first of all, yeah, I could technically have 4 Voidwing hybrids in a deck, and that would be great. But if I would be drafting blue-black, and there was no way I'm not taking the Archfiend here. Sadly, I think it's not really pickable here. It's double black. I would have to. You can't really splash it easily. I'm gonna take the Synthesizer because it's what my deck wants to play. So let's just take it here. Okay, this allows me to splash. There's not much I'm gonna lose here. I mean, mostly like the Hunt the Maze. Yep, easy. Expanse. Now with the Thirsting Roots and the Expanse, I think I'm gonna splash double Anoint with Affliction. Anything else from black? And not really. Yeah, so this is the deck so far. It's lacking like a spell. And I do want to have another way to fix mana, but man, triple Anoint with Affliction. That's crazy. And that's a late one too. I guess black was very open because I was just past the bomb rare. The 4 mana 6/6 flyer is just a total bomb. Do I want to have a defensive card? How many 3-drops I have? Actually not a lot. This deck could really use a death touch blocker. It's not like I'm gonna play like a draw. I mean, I guess I could play a draw pitch, but I don't really need it. I'm gonna take this for a defensive play on turn 3. And how many non-creatures I have? 9. A couple of them proliferate. I guess this is the deck. No, this is already 20. That's already too many cards. I might cut one Titanic Growth, perhaps. Oh, I might cut the Anatomist. It's not really that good. Yeah, it's proliferate. Yeah, I think that's the first cut here. Okay, Copper Longlegs. Also the Webby Surgeon's Insight, which I kind of like. How many 2-drops I have? Oh, not a lot. 4 of these total. Longlegs still proliferates. Ah, this does draw me more cards. Man, I'm gonna take the Longlegs. Defensive. I don't want to die early. And here we have the Phyrexian Atlas, which I think I'm gonna just have to pick with triple Anoint with Affliction. I could play the Surgical Bay here, but this makes my splash slightly more reliable, so let's just take it here. It's gonna be maybe... Okay, what's about here? The Mantle isn't really... I'm gonna take the Skull Bomb. Don't know which exactly is gonna be the build here for the deck, but I have at least enough playables. Toxic. Nah, I won't have room for the Ascent here. Okay, I got the Hunter Mace after all, and that's the draft. Okay, 27 spells right now. So I have a Thirsting Root, Double Cultivator, and Atlas. Also this thing which, you know, helps at least to find a land if you have the blue mana available. Is that going to be a reason to play just 16 lands? Because I can just count this as a land as long as I have a forest. This is gonna be a land. If I have 3 of any mana, this is gonna be produce mana 2. I want to have a number of non-creatures to make the synthesizers actually tick. How many things say proliferate here? So not in the end, not that many, and I'm actually about to cut the Anatomist, maybe. Yeah, the problem is that the tapping part. I'm not sure if it's required for this card. 4 mana 2/5 isn't really that good. For example, black has a 5 mana common that's a 4/4. It says at ETB just proliferate, and when it dies, proliferate then as well. So if this was enters the battlefield proliferate, would it be like enabling blue strategies too much? Blue is the weakest color in the set anyway. I think this would be much more playable if you just could proliferate with it and still use it for blocking right away. Because the problem is 2/5 mostly blocks, and if you want to get the benefit from it, you can't even block with it right away. Of course you can block it on a further turn, but yeah, I can't say I like this card. I'm gonna cut it. 3/4 is actually more threatening because you can also use this as an offensive card. So yeah, this is now... Yeah, I think I'm gonna... By the way, I kind of stopped talking about the land count business, but I think this will be a 16 land deck. Probably. Although... No, I have only one of these lands that can sack for a card draw. It's just not so easy to cut here or anything. All of these are quite decent. I think I want to play the Basilisk as a defensive drop here. The Skull Bomb is more interaction, also a way to trigger these things. Any non-creature is going to be good with the triple synthesizer and the Troller Drake. Long Legs Steward. So this is now enough 2 mana plays, isn't it? 3, 4, 5. And I have a couple of 1-drops, so yeah. Plus, if I happen to have the black mana early, which is not that likely, then of course I would be able to also use these as 2 mana plays. And yes, I do realize I have the Voidwing Hybrid, but not really gonna be a card I want to splash. not in this kind of deck as well. I mean, especially not in this deck, which doesn't really care about having a 2-power flyer that much. Because this is more like a late game deck. I can, get value from these. This is a 6-drop, which I might play. I haven't decided yet. Of course, the Spinodem is easily, threatening for a lot of damage. The Drake and the Synthesizers are just gonna be very hard to block threats. Well, these are impossible to block threats. This is hard to block when it's like a 4/4 or something like that. So I don't need a 2-power flyer just to deal with the opponent's life total. I will be able to deal with the opponent's life total, but I need to survive to do that. So I think one Titanic Growth is gonna go away. But like I said, I don't want to cut non-creatures. So is there a creature I want to cut? That's the question. I think the Eco Split, Sweet Basilisk, or the Plague Nurse are the Scythe Engulfer, but I think I want to keep the 6-drop because I have the Atlas and the double Cultivator, which can accelerate into it. And I have only 2 5s and 1 6. It's not like mana curve is that crazy. The average cost in here is still 22.6, which is rather low. So, I think I will play with some one Titanic Growth. Should I just... Maybe I have enough defensive options here. After all, I'm gonna cut the Basilisk. This is the deck. 16 lands should suffice now. Expanse the Maze. Don't think there's any other lands. Easy way to check it, just put mana value 0 because they are, well, lands have no mana value. Well, I'm not playing the red producing one, so I think 1 swamp is gonna be enough, even though I have triple black spell, the thirsting roots and the Atlas and the expanse function as black mana in a sense. All of them can enable me getting black mana. So if I put 1 swamp in the deck, that's 4 ways to get it. And I don't need to have this up early. It's not that necessary. It's of course better when you can cast this on turn 2 just to keep yourself in the game if you don't have a creature yourself, but that's not gonna be reliable in this deck regardless of the number of swamps I can afford to put here. Because if I play like 2 swamps, it doesn't mean that I'm suddenly reliably casting these things on turn 2. That's not gonna happen. And I need to cast all my other things too. I don't have that many blue cards, but they are early drops, all of them, and there's a double blue too. So I feel like 1 swamp has to suffice here. There's a possibility I draw like 2 of these cards, and I haven't found my swamp at all. Well, okay, let's not lock into anything yet. I will have to play at least... Well, maybe I don't need 8 forests, because the Terramorphic Expanse can still get me a forest. So maybe I should just... Because this is now 9 ways to get green mana for the very early Thirsting Roots. And I guess the Atlas is gonna be enabling that too. So 7 forests, 1 maze. That's the minimum of green sources. So how many blue I can play? So I will play at least 5. And remember, the Expanse, Atlas, Thirsting Roots, they kind of count as blue sources as well. And the Cultivator with 1 island allows me to cast the Mesmerizing Dose. So now the question is the final land gonna be island or a swamp? I think in order to make the synthesizers actual 2 drops, I need to play an island. So that's only... Well, that is now 8 ways to get a turn 2 island. If I have a forest and the Thirsting Roots, that's the 8th way. Then these islands and the Expanse can help there too. Although with Expanse I'm actually going to have to get the swamp basically always. So if I have like a starting hand, 3 forests, Terramorphic Expanse. It's really awkward if I have a blue 2-drop, because I can't really get my island with this, because I might draw any of these 3. Yeah, so the splashing is, hard. That's just how it goes. But these are so powerful that it is worth doing it. This is the deck now. What a hand. Well, I mean, I'm not getting this early. Even it is not quite unlikely to get me a black producing mana. But I have the Raptor here, and this can get me the... Yeah, I mean, this gets me something that allows me to still play at least. Oh, how lucky can that be? What? I have one swamp in the deck. Well, this is now a lot better. I got even that for the forest. Am I going to still want to keep... Huh, because next turn I can play the Raptor. I don't need to play the Ogre, and I actually prefer to have something to proliferate into first. But now the question is... I could exile the 3-drop. I'm actually still gonna get the forest here. Because it's possible I don't want to exile it, and then I might draw some green cards I want to cast. Okay, that's something like I don't have to worry about right now, especially with the, you know, I can block the Cackler with this guy. And then the Plague Nurse can block this and trade with it, even if they get some oil. Okay, that's a good one, but they don't have any oil on this thing yet. So, am I gonna attack for 1 in the air? What's the worst that can happen? They can deal with the Plague Nurse and attack for 4. I mean... 1 is so... not much, but I guess I mean, every damage can count, and the worst case scenario, which is that they remove the nurse and attack for 4, is not that. I guess they can attack for like 5 if they have an oil thing also, yeah. But that's not actually gonna allow them to attack yet. So I got the 1 damage now without getting punished. Now of course this will be a well, I guess I can use my can't exile it with the Annoying, but I can exile the Golem, which is gonna drop +1/+1, but I have a Titanic Growth. By the way, next turn I can just play the Engulfer. This time I'm not attacking with the Raptor. I want to, you know, block more than one of those guys. So let's just hope that the Anoint and the Titanic Growth will be good enough here. The red-green... Yeah, they can have the Bite spell. That would be a little annoying. Because that's at the instant speed. Are there ways to... Okay, they can have also Hex Cold Slash, because I'm gonna of course block with the Nurse in here. Maybe if I block with... This would be a 5/8 though. Yeah, it can. Maybe they go for the Fight spell now, +2/+1, +1/+2. That would be really good. Okay, they actually don't seem to have any tricks here. They might not attack at all, which would be fine. I'm gonna drop a 6/5 there, and maybe I was supposed to... Well, I'm gonna do this first. Might be time to just exile the... Okay, the predation is gonna be very good. So it might be just time to actually use my mana efficiently and get rid of the Golem here, which is pumping these guys. So now this is still gonna attack as a 5-power creature, but I'm gonna play my 6/5 here for sure. I can take the damage here. Now I could attack with the Plague Nurse. That's the thing I could do. And if they trade with the Mantis, I don't mind. If they double block, I get to punish them. 2 poison might make them want to double block. This attack as a 4/3 by the way now. But 4/3 is not enough to deal with the 6/5. I really want to attack with the Nurse, but maybe it's just is a little bit too crazy here. Huh. You know what? I'm attacking with it. Might get punished here somehow. But I really hope they go for the double block. Because it does seem like they don't have a priority for any kind of an instant. I mean, mostly a Titanic Growth of their own. Because if this is 2 poison, they might not want them to get dealt that much. Alright. So I was a little bit afraid that they might have a ruthless predation of their own, because what they can do if they have a land drop, they can pump this guy, make it into a 6/5. Then use a ruthless predation, make it a 7/7, and actually just kill the engulfer in that case. But how can I not play anything here? I mean, I guess I could use my predation to kill their mantis now, but I'm gonna go for this. If they have the predation, then they have it. I guess I can block the mantis then, because it will be dying to the raptor in that case. Oh, they have a rebuke. Well, that's annoying, but I can still, you know, block the mantis and trade with it. That's the good part here. I can also trade with the cackler if I want to. It's gonna be a 4/3 attacker. I'm happy to trade with the mantis. This is really good, because raptor is a, you know, a 4/1. It's a very good trade. This doesn't even have trample. And that's one more oil counter guy away from this thing. This is really good now. I'm happy. Very happy about this. Oh, and I got my troll a little too late. Man. I'm thinking about the ruthless predation, because if I want to use it, I should do it now, because this will deal additional point of damage in that case. It's just not much of a threat right now. I think I'll just play the troll. I know I can't draw a card, but I mean, it's still a 3/4 that gains me life. It can be relevant in this board state. Don't have any looting, I don't think. Also uses my double green. I have only 2 forests, so if I want to, you know, play these things, then I couldn't play the troll unless I draw additional forests. And that thing is going to... Well, if they want to attack with it, I am going to win the race, so they can't attack with it. They can do that now, of course. Maybe I'll just trade here, sure. I'll trade here, and then I will be attacking into the Strider without any fear, of course. This is going to be a 7/8, so even a double block doesn't punish me. Unless they have the 1 mana trick, 1 red mana thing, gives oil counters and all that. But of course I'm not going to worry about that. And they're going to take 2 more poison here. They have to just play into my trick. And the steward is going to be able to pump this guy. And I still have my own ruthless predation here. And I have a triple anoint with affliction, so it definitely matters that I get to corrupt them. Surgeon isn't... What? This is an island. Why would they play a spell and then crack the land? Because they might have something better to play with. Okay, Sack is gonna give them a number of 3/3s, of course, but might be time to don't have too amazing stuff going on in here. I know I can kill something, don't even know what I care about, but yeah, the problem is they might double block now, and I don't like it now. I know I could use these, but then they might just jump block it. If I now play Ruthless Predation, well, I mean, I guess it means that if they... And then I attack with both. And that would mean that... that would mean that if they only get a 3/3 on the next turn, they actually don't have a block on the... on the 3/4. But if they have something else, they can do a double block, and that's miserable. Because this I can use to make this into a 5. Yeah, I think it's just safer to do it like this. It's too valuable to lose the steward here right now. Because this will be a 5/6, and of course the double block won't help against the 5/6 either. I hope they don't have proliferating for the sack. That's what I really have to hope. So this, yeah, this is like a red. Oh, well, talk about perfect cheese. Oh man, this is just great. This is way too great. I can actually pump here now. Yeah, this is way too good now. I'm gonna double block the nurse here. They really don't have an option here. And they're gonna get punished for that. Yep, they don't want to even continue. Because this still takes 4 mana to make 3 3s. And I still have yet another, you know, use for the 2-2 here. It's a quite nice 2-drop. I really like it. Because it's very clumsy, but in these situations it's a 2-drop that can trade, you know, on turn 2 or so. But late in the game, the +2/+2 is going to matter when you have the mana for it. More awkward stuff, but I'm actually keeping it because this can draw me a card, and this is the synthesizer is with the dose quite nice. I'm not even playing this on turn 1 because it's another counter on this thing. It's risky, I know, but I have a lot of ways to get the the green mana in this deck. I have 9 lands that can help it, and then there's the Phyrexia and Atlas. So yeah, not gonna play this now. I wanna have the counter for this thing. Okay, draw Skull Bomb. Opponent did mulligan, by the way. Alright, so this is the only thing that can have oil for me right now, and the opponent is willing to kill it, of course, because it can be a quite nasty threat. I could just dose it if I really want to, but I kind of want to. No. I'm a fool, because what I can do, I can dose it now. Next turn I can play and sack this to bounce whatever is gonna be the play. So this is just, you know, so much better for mana usage. Okay, they actually don't have. Oh, what a draw! I mean, it is insane. They maybe kill the synthesizer, but they don't. This has hexproof as long as it has 2. Sorry, yeah. If it has 2 or fewer oil counters. Okay, that's salvo there because they can't use it on the Spinodem. It has 4 now. It goes down to 3. So for 1 attack they can. Oh, that's just. This is insane, actually. I can just bounce the token here. And the Atlas makes me be able to, you know, use these trolls. But for now, maybe I draw land from this. So has trample as long as it has 2 or fewer. So okay, next turn it will lose the hexproof. On my turn, that is, and it will have trample instead. Anyway, I hope they don't have an instant speed skill spell, because I really want to draw cards with this. Well, maybe I won't even be able to cast them yet. I guess on the next turn I can now play the Atlas and the Longlegs. If I don't draw a land, I mean. Okay, Edifice doesn't do anything, and 1 black mana isn't gonna, at instant speed, it's not gonna kill it. There's no land though, so I'm gonna play this. And should I keep the Titanic Growth up? Because they might have the Rebuke. I know I could play the Longlegs. And this is gonna of course die once it runs out of counters. But next turn I could play Longlegs and now. I want to keep mana up for the Longlegs. Sorry, for the Titanic Growth, maybe. Okay, they get to draft something from this spellbook. It's a lot of options. You can maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't want to use too much time on this, but if you're really, you can pause the video. Maybe you just should check from somewhere from the internet all the options. Okay, so now this is gonna. I have a lethal attack here. With the Titanic growth, that is. It's just that, is it worth it? Because I could just play the troll. Yeah, Titanic growth will be lethal with a lot of things. So if they have, I mean, I guess the only option for removal at instant speed with the mana they have available is another copy of a Rebel Salvo. And if they have that, why wouldn't they just use it? Oh, because I had 2 mana up. But if is this dying mid-combat? It shouldn't, because I have Titanic growth. I'm gonna attack here. If they want to, jump for 2 damage, I don't mind. But I really... Oh, but the Raptor actually enables my my trolls, because it has oil too. So now the question is, am I gonna play around specifically a Rebel Salvo? I mean, it's very unlikely that they're holding it. But I saw them having priority. They have something. Could be just a pump spell, obviously. Could be anoint with, whatever thing it is. So I have just a victory coming up if I resolve this thing. Because my hand is so good that I don't think I need to risk it. If they have a Rebel Salvo, I can win the game regardless. So I'm actually gonna go for this. This will draw me a card, unless they actually want to use the Salvo on their Spinodem right now. So this will die. I don't think I have any upkeep shenanigans with the... Yeah, if I had the long legs on the battlefield, I could. Okay, well they got that from that. Okay, so any... No, yeah. Well, that's bad news, of course. What is not bad news is that there's a secret ability for the Engulfer in my hand, the 6-drop. Not only does it have reach and trample, it can't be blocked by creatures with flying, aka Archfiend of Dross. It has death touch. So now I just have to play some more stuff in here. And I guess that stuff includes... what does it include? Of course not at the... Because I was thinking that I'm at 20, there's no problem with my life total. But now there actually suddenly is. Maybe I will jump block this once. I will still lose 2's life, but... I kind of want to play the Cultivator to be able to cast this thing at some point, but it's still slow. I think I need to have the flyer so that... Because they need a flyer out removal on this as well. So I can do that. And I guess I can do the long legs too, if I really want to block that thing. But yeah, now if they attack with this thing, they will of course... need to deal with the Raptor. And I have still a Troll here too. So if they deal with the Raptor, they need to deal with the Troll. And what they don't know is that the long legs is lethal too, but I mean they have a block on the long legs, so I don't think that's gonna matter too much. Am I gonna jump block here once with the long legs? Okay, they go for that. They wanna see what they draw. Just a land. Okay, well I'm gonna definitely jump block now with the long legs. If they even are able to attack. Okay, that's desperate moves there. They have 2 cards in their hand. This one isn't gonna do anything. Yeah, I mean if they attack, they'll die to the Raptor, so they can't even do that. They can play the Swamp on the next turn, but yeah, I think this is now pretty game over. Because they will lose also when this thing runs out of counters, of course, so they can't really play too slow here. Let's just do the lethal thing. They need to... Because this can't be blocked by a flyer. It hasn't been relevant, I don't think, many times in this format for me, but it can be now. But they do need to either kill this themselves or sacrifice them on some effect, or proliferate more counters on it. So 3 cards I do not know about. They can play the Swamp. They have a Sledge, which isn't doing much. And if they tap out I have a victory with this. It will be a 10 power trampler. They don't have enough toughness to block it all. But they don't tap out, which means that how safely do I want to play here? How safely do I... Because I should be winning here so easily now. I mean, I maybe just wait until this thing dies. Because, again, I can attack with the Engulfer, but I earlier played around Rebel Salvo. I mean, I kinda should play around it. Because now if I attack with the Engulfer, they can block with the 3-2 and the 3-2. I have to use my trick in that case. Oh, they are actually just... They conceded. I guess they just realized that they can... Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so easy for me. I wasn't playing slow on purpose here. Because the wisdom goes in the way that if you are really easily going to win, you shouldn't take unnecessary risks. So the worst that can happen is they have like a Rebel Salvo or something similar to that. So that if I use my Titanic Growth on the Engulfer when they have blocked it with these guys, they can remove it in response. Now, that's annoying. They still have the board, I lost my big thing. Then it's possible they can sacrifice, maybe they have the black common that says that destroy target creature and they can sacrifice a creature for it. So they can, get rid of this threat of, making them lose the game. And they can find another way to deal with the Raptor. Now that's a long shot. But I can also just play very safely here by not attacking here, making them first deal with this thing. Because they need to deal with both the Engulfer and the Raptor, and they can't basically tap out or my Titanic Growth will be lethal, because what I was going to do here before they conceded is play the Steward and play the Cultivator, and that's it. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures, all of them lethal with the Titanic Growth. So once they tap out, that's it. And they need to deal with the Dross, Archfiend, and all that. So it was just safer to play around things here. These colors don't have mass removal. If they played white, of course there are 2 rares that can remove the entire board, then I would just have to go for it. But they didn't play white. Okay, yet another of these starting hands that really don't have the mana I need. Now I have the Spinodem here, but that now asks a little bit too many questions. The Predation and the Titanic Growth don't do anything. I need the Island 2 to make the Scalpel bounce something. I'm gonna mulligan this hand. Okay. I have all the colors except for double green. I would really want to be able to just keep all these, of course. This is basically a land. This is a green land. I mean, it's gonna be this. I still would want to have 1 or 2 drop. I have 2 1-drops and 5 2-drops if I'm correct. Well, there's the same 4-drop. With that draw, I really would put this Bleak Nurse away. But hey, I got a 2 mana spell with the Swamp to cast it even. With 1 Swamp in the deck. Alright, they play not much. Maybe this just eats removal, but hey, I got the second Forest too. And this didn't eat removal. What's going on? Didn't the opponent keep a 7 card hand? Maybe they have a bomb of some kind. Well, good for them. My Anoint with Affliction doesn't currently do anything. But bad for them, I can meet their 4-drop with my own very nice 4-drop. Let's attack for 1. I know I could even block here, because I have a pretty good late game here, but I don't think it's worth it yet. They might have a pump spell too, but I mean, maybe I would be willing to trade with a pump spell here. Okay, that can so far block the Drake. I might actually exile the long legs Although they can sack it for a proliferation. Do they want to block here? Wow. Okay, well, let's see what I draw first. That's gonna be a good card. Not useful yet, but the troll will draw me a card. I have more, you know, oil counter things. So, of course, problem here is that yeah, I'm gonna take the trade here. Because this just dies. If I leave this as a blocker, it's a very bad idea. It just dies once it runs out of things. So if they want to double block with those guys, I know I have the Anointed Affliction, but I also don't want to. Okay, they just didn't want to attack into it. That's also understandable. So what was I saying? I mean, if they double block, do I really want to exile this? I mean, maybe it was worth it. Anyway, now I don't have to worry about it. I'll just play this guy here. I can now, of course, take the 5 here. I'm not gonna double block it. They didn't have a other play for this turn. Only a 2-drop on turn 4. So they're going for the race here, which is okay. I do have to assume they can deal with the Drake, even though this might at some point actually get some counters. Yeah, I'm gonna go to 15. Double blocking would be just it would just be a bad idea. Even if they have nothing, I would lose both my creatures. Not worth trading there. I of course do want to draw a land now. Okay, they have a scrap trap, so they have more uses for the mantis now. A little bit annoying, but oh well. Come on, land. So annoying. And they had a 4 toughness creature here, so I can't. I was really hoping I could attack with the nurse, because this of course is only a 4/3 on defense. Because the nurse now dealing them poison, 2 poison to them is actually super relevant with the anoint with affliction here. I can't bluff an attack. They would just snap block with the scrap trap, get another proliferating effect there. So yeah, I can't even make this instant 3/3 because I would attack, of course, into the long legs if that was possible. I don't think I can do that. Well, let's make them go to. Oh, that I'd like to see. Oh, this is insanely good. Wow, I didn't expect them to do that. Well, thank you. This has still 1 more attack. And that 1/3 was actually very relevant in blocking my Drake. Now they do have to deal with the Drake. And I can still have a play for myself. Do I want to play the Steward here? Or the long legs? I think I like the long legs to be like a block and sack. Yeah, I can take another 5 here. They of course have now basically infinite oil here for that guy. But as a 4/3, it doesn't deal with the Blake Nurse that well. And if I still don't draw a land on the next turn, I think I'm just gonna play the long legs, block and sack for proliferating here. That would give actually the Spinodem another turn to live. They just choose that, okay, no more Spinodem there. But they can't attack now. Wow, that's gonna be a dub. What? I mean, yeah, you can trade with the Plague Nurse. What the? Why would they do that? Or why wouldn't they attack first? Because I wouldn't have blocked with them having open mana there. That's insane. They only can kill one of these guys with all tapped out. Do they have a swamp and then the -1/-1? Nope. Finally a land. Okay, this is just insane. I guess that's just that turn means that I have a huge no advantage here, as you can see. Life totals and board state. And cards in hand even. They have, you know, 4 and I have 3, but I have all this stuff on the battlefield. Okay, I have to discard the micro synthesizer because here the proliferating will be quite nice. And of course the 6-5 is just invaluable. So what I can do, well, is to play the 6-5, you know. I could, you know, attack with this into this being a 5-6 into this guy, trade there, but this is dead touch, so I would lose that guy anyway. I'd rather just deal 2 in the air, make them deal with the engulfer. And if they deal with it, they still have the Drake that they need to deal with. And the Steward, you know, could be relevant. This can give counters on both the Drake and the Steward. They are in no position to raise me at all. 6 cards with 6 lands with 4 cards in hand. And if they play anything big, they are gonna tap out. Okay, they are not completely tapped out. So I think I should play their long legs, because if I need to make this into a 3-3 at instant speed, now I will have the option to do that. So let's just do that first. Then I have to decide if I want to use the Steward here, because I can make the Oil Gorge Troll into a 5-6 now. And if I do that, I should play the land also, so I have this ability up all the time. I'm not gonna pump the Drake and deal 2 additional damage, because I expect that they can still have a removal on it. It's better to pump the Troll here. And now they have 2 things that they can only trade with one of them in combat. And if they have a trick, then they have a trick, but I mean, they can't deal with all of this stuff. That's the point. Both of these ground guys are lethal if the Drake survives. If they kill the Drake, they can only trade with one of these and take a huge chunk of damage, or jump block with the head cleaver, so that's always also good. That will trample 1 damage over. And that's a jump block. So proliferating doesn't do anything but let me have 1 extra damage. I don't think that's worth it. Now let's see the trick. Could be just indestructible titanic growth, something like that. But one of these guys will die. Timer stand. Sure. And then no trample over. So I could deal 3 instead of 2. Is that going to be worth it? I think it actually is, because I want to give this the oil counter regardless before it uses the last one on the next turn. So let's just do it. That's 1 extra damage I get to deal with them. Who knows, maybe it will matter. They go to 4 instead of 5. That also means that they can't really... Okay, that thing has a reach, so my Drake cannot do anything than trade with the Engulfer for now. So, if I attack with everything, it's not lethal. Well, I mean, there's not really a rush here. If I draw a land here, I can still activate the Steward. If I draw a spell, I'm very happy about it. Oh, maybe not this particular spell so much. Well, of course, now I don't have an attack, so let's just have a wider board. Of course, I have a lot of attackers into there too, the blockers. And I have a... Well, let's see first. Okay, they have all these. I mean, this is a 6, 6, and 7. That's a bunch of expensive stuff, but anoint... well, it doesn't take care of any of these guys, of course. So do I have to just trade with the Engulfer here? My flyer is the way to push through, and at some point it might have, you know, more toughness than 6, so it would survive. If I now attack with everything, it's not lethal. They have to block the flyer. Yeah, it's actually, they go to 1. So sadly the 1, or the flyer can actually be... Oh man, I can actually make this into a 4/4 by casting this on my own guy, like the cultivator. But it's not enough. It's gonna be 6 still here. So there's just no attack here for me. I have to sadly pass the turn because yeah, I can force the block in here. But it's a trade. I need only one non-creature spell to actually attack past it and at least win this engulfer in combat, unless they have more tricks, of course. This thing can't be... I can even... I mean, I would... If this attacks, I think I'm gonna take 6 poison here. Don't like seeing that, but he's also gonna take a big blocker out of there. But if they have more spells here, they might have the attack possibility, but I can go to 6 poison. It will be awkward if they have a good... What? I mean, I was gonna say good payoffs for corruption, but what the heck is this? So Tyver stand is +6 now. What are they? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what is going on. I do here and here. This is the sensible thing to do. I'm only losing 1 troll here. This blocks here and I take 6. Can they give me 4 poison somehow? I don't believe it. I'm not going to jump with the Drake. That's just not going to happen. They have only 2 cards. How can they make this a lethal attack? Yes. But I mean, you need blockers for this board here. I guess they only need like 1 more removal spell to deal with the Drake. Wow, that's just... What the heck? I mean, why would they attack with the Engulfer there? Whatever. I mean, I'm gonna just show that I just, of course, had this... They hoped I block with the Drake. They wanted to just play the Necro Titan without sacrificing a creature. They could have accomplished that by, you know, attacking with the 6/7 and probably with the 5/5. No, they can't do that because then I don't have to sacrifice my 3/4. Yeah, they wanted to force the double block somehow. They wanted that if I don't block with anything, it's actually lethal attack. Like 12 plus 5 plus 4 would be more than enough, I think. Well, I'm happy I won. Oh, a land, a starting hand which has, you know, the proper mana fixing here. If I want to... I think the blue 2-drop is slightly more interesting, because I don't have anything to accelerate into with this thing. And I have the Thirsting Roots, which gets me the swamp. So the idea is to play this on turn 2. On turn 3, I can play the Cultivator and the Roots, getting me a swamp, getting a counter on this guy. Plus now I have a 1/3 to block that guy with. They're gonna get the land or not. They get a forest. So of course in every case I'm gonna block the mover here. No point taking 2 damage and a poison. And then I would want to exile that, but it's not exactly going to be possible yet. But it's fine. I'll take 1 poison here. So my idea is to get a swamp with this thing. I still need to play the forest for the cultivator, right? And then I can even play the skull bomb too. That's quite nice. And synthesizer is soon going to be an unblockable thing, but of course they can remove it. But the entire point of this card is that it's a 2-drop, only costs 2 mana, and the opponent has to use a removal for it if, you know, it threatens to cause me to win the race. And there we go with predation. And then I suppose I take 2 poison now. Oh well. And I think with that, I'll just get rid of the Dune Mover and exile the Hive Master. Oh, I should have played the Swamp first. Damn it. I guess I lose my Cultivator now. I don't know though if I even want to. I mean, is it even worth it? Yeah, I'm gonna be corrupted, but with the hand they had, that was gonna be unpreventable. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I guess I can get rid of the +1/+1 counter and the Death Touch counter by bouncing the thing. That the next Phyrexian creature spell, which might be the one they craft here, or might be something else. These are all Phyrexian creatures. Of course, that has to be. Alright. Well, there's the Flesh Scorcher, which I don't really want to bounce. Alright, well they get, of course, this. Yeah, that has a few bummeres there. Alright. So bouncing this cost me 4 life, and then they can play this at 7 mana at some point. And as long as it's 3 mana creature, I can draw the affliction thing. Okay, so I guess I take 4 now. But of course, now I just have to top deck one of the 2 afflictions. I even lost my Ruthless Predation, and they get to refill with that thing. So this is just them having a perfect curve out here. Even though I had the blockers and all, they were still able to do it all. Here I will be able to double block, although I maybe should do this first. Yes, leave a swamp up. No, I want to pay it like this. Thank you very much. Yeah, so if they have exactly nothing, double block is safe. And of course I'm gonna go for it. It has Death Touch, so I'm gonna lose both my guys, but it's still, you know, I have the 6/5 which I can use to stabilize. So I'm gonna lose if they have a trick, but I'm not gonna go to 4 here. I can't target this even after that anymore. Okay, well, at least I got rid of that. Hopefully they don't have ways to bring stuff back from the graveyard. So yeah, it had Death Touch, so that's the reason I... Oh boy, lost both my creatures, so now even if I bounce the token, they can equip that thing. But I still have to bounce the token rather than play my... Do I though? They have the mana to equip it. I take 6 regardless here. So actually, I'm gonna play this for mana efficiency. If I bounce it, even if I draw something for 3 mana, I guess it could have been Anoint with Affliction. Whatever. Okay, they have a trick for this thing too. They kill me for some kind of... Well, they don't kill, but this will be an 8/8 Trampler on the next turn. So... That is... I guess I can't double block it. Alright, so let's see what mana it's gonna use. I wanna use 2 forests and... yeah, I can double block it, lose my both creatures again, of course. I guess if the opponent just draws an amazing pocket of lands so that I can kill them from 26 life before they get to have enough creatures to... yeah, it's not gonna work. They will also trample 1 point of damage and I will get 3 poison here. I'm gonna be at 8 poison now. Nice. And 1 life. I think the life is a little bit more relevant. Hey, I got a creature. Huge threat. Only 26 turns to kill them. Well, that draws them a card even though it's not usable right now. And more spells. Okay, they are flooding out. I have my Spinodem here. Now if they were at like 16 life I would be more hopeful, but of course it's gonna be very, very difficult for me to... Yeah, especially when they draw a card like this. They can accrue this, but I can't block it. But if I draw any lands, I'm gonna just concede. Sadly, I can't exile any of these with that thing. 4 mana card, 4 mana card. It would be really sweet if I could. Well, I can't attack. No, it's just game over. I mean, they're gonna make this into an 8 power trampler, and I died. I died right there, and even if I didn't die, if this thing dies, they still get to pick a card from top 3 and all that. Or is it top 4? Let's accept our loss there. Okay, another hand with all the mana I need and a good curve, but that did not help me in the previous game. I'm also on the draw here. I suppose I'm just gonna get the swamp here first. And then that leaves me options for both the blue and the green 2-drop. It's possible I also draw Anointed Affliction, and then I might want to have the swamp around. Okay, so they are on the play with the 1-drop. 1-drop Toxic Thing, classic. Okay, they don't have a 2 mana play, they can... Okay, whatever. I think I'm going to... I have only 1 blue mana source, so I should actually play the blue thing here, regardless of which is better in terms of, you know, damage output or something. But yeah, I have more green here than blue, so... I mean, talking about the lands. Okay, well, they didn't have an attack there. I'll just... I could play... No, I can't play 2 green spells, and I wasn't intending to do that. This is fine now. They don't have a 3rd land drop here, actually, yet. They missed it once. So do they have... And I have... Okay, they don't miss it anymore. So next turn I can... Well, I can still play only 1 green spell, but I can play the tapped land. There's no rush to play the Cultivator, because there is nothing to ramp into right now. And I have 5 lands here already, so even if I draw my 6-drop, I'm very close to getting to cast it without the help of the Cultivator. So they're thinking about the Skull Bomb activation. I mean, I can't block either of these with the Synthesizer, so... Interesting they chose to do it like that. This would have just dealt them more damage. So I don't know what's up with that. They wanted me to double block and kind of miss that it has first strike. Maybe. Now I can play 2 green things. I'm not blocking with the Tower Drake. I'm actually not... No, I need the 1-3 to block the duelist here. Sure. Let's attack for 1. I don't need to keep the Titanic Growth up. I'll just play the Cultivator, which is a good blocker on the Chorus, because I don't really need the Cultivator. And this, and then I can just hope to draw a number of spells here. Not too many lands, because opponent missed their 3rd land drop. This means they have a lot of spells in their hand, and I can't really punish them. Because as you can see, I have 1 and 2 power creatures here. Of course, the Drake will easily... Okay, not so much of the Drake. Oh, they actually chose that. Alright, well, I can't trade with it, so... I guess they just want to corrupt me. Hey, I don't really care about drawing all these lands. Why does it have to be like this? I'm very annoyed. Well, let's do some damage while I can. I'm already corrupted, so I don't care about poison anymore here. I might use the Titanic Growth defensively here if I... but they are gonna... I guess the Cultivator is really not a card I care about too much if they use removal on. I mean, it's gonna be a 2-for-1, but rather the Cultivator than the Drake, right? This also pumps the Drake here, regardless. And this even works now. Okay. So I have a slightly faster clock now. They do have only 4 mana left. So what's it gonna be? I mean, it's maybe not only, they of course have a lot of playables. Okay, that can block the Drake. I don't like that. Yeah, I can draw a card in here. Because I can untap a land and still play the Plague Nurse. But what do I want to do here? I can also, you know, pump the Drake here. Attack for 4 in the air. I think playing something on the battlefield is the better move. Let's first just do like this. Maybe I find something like a Anoint with Affliction. Yes. So now I have 2 options. I can still attack for 4 in the air and not do much else. Or I can use my oil counter here to untap a land for the Plague Nurse, and I think it has to be the Plague Nurse. Because that's also a thing they can't easily block now. I can take the 3 in the air. But I have a bunch of non-creatures and a bunch of proliferating effects too, so I would really want the Drake to actually grow a little bit more in size. But I'm facing a lot of spells here and my hand is 2 lands now. Yeah, a little bit of flooding here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my deck has... Is this a 16 land deck? 7 lands in my deck and 18 spells, if I'm not mistaken. They were so eager to make me corrupted that I fear that they have the black and white uncommon 4 mana, sorry, 5 mana 4/4 that just destroys a non-land permanent. Okay, they can attack for 5 in the air. Well, I mean, I'm not trading with any of that. So let's raise here. Let's not draw a land. Okay, Ogre, this is the kind of stuff I want to have. Now I'm just immediately going to cast it. Maybe I find an exile spell here. I know I could have... Oh, there's a lot of... Oh, I mean, I want all of that. I know I could have, you know, attacked and then used the... you know, this spell as a trick if they block. That was a possibility. But I kind of wanted to see first. I don't think they were ever gonna block. I mean, that's you know, the thing. And then I kind of miss some damage here, perhaps. So Spider Demo is good, but I think I need to get rid of the flyers. Let's take the Anoint with Affliction here. And yep. Just do here to get more, you know, Drake counters, and this is of course a lot of damage I can deal to them. They are at 5. So unless they can find 4 additional points of damage, they have to play very defensively now, and of course the Drake is now as threatening as it usually can be. I can also make the Plague Nurse into... Well, they do have a jump blocker, so pumping the Plague Nurse with the Steward, even though it makes it into 5 power creature, which means it's lethal, it doesn't matter when they have the Chorus, they can block with anyway. Now it would be actually quite awkward for them if they do have the 5-drop thing that destroys a non-land permanent, and they don't have the 5 mana for it. They can... No, I don't think they really can attack. They need to block more than just a Drake here. They need blockers, and they don't have enough mana to have that impactful plays. So if they do remove the Drake, that's gonna use some amount of their mana too. And now I don't think they can afford to attack. They can double spell this turn. They still have 2 mana up and haven't passed the priority, so they have something they can do at least. So they can maybe attack me down to 6 and play something that makes it not lethal. Okay, that is gonna... Oh, they wanna attack me down to 7 poison actually. Well, I mean, I just need to block any poison nonsense, I guess. So what I can do, I can pump this guy to force them to jump block. But I mean, their idea is of course just to make this guy fly on the next turn. Yeah, well that's gonna be awkward. I mean, if I attack with everything... Yeah, that's of course that's what the Communion does. So if I don't have a lethal attack now, and I don't, I can attack with everything, they go down to 2. I can pump this guy, they go down to 2. So the only chance is that I draw a interaction. I have a Anoint with Affliction, and I have the Predation thing, so I don't have a blue way to deal with this. So I need to draw one of my 2 interactive spells now. That's all I can do, because I'm gonna take 3 poison in the air otherwise. Oh man, freaking Hoverwings. Freaking Commune. I really thought they can't pressure me with damage, but they were able to pressure me with surprise poison here. I mean, it's just, I mean, again, I can go through the motions here. I mean, they are gonna... Whatever. They, of course, don't have any other option here than to block here. And then it's just me dying to 10 poison because they can have this freaking Communion here. Oh, let them have it. Let them have it. I wasted a bunch of their time anyway, so... Yeah. Wow. The combination with the flying grinding equipment and the aura, that... I mean, that's just... I mean, that was a game I was winning in against like most of the things they could have after before they played the Communion, the board state given, and what I had in my hand. Well, I didn't have much, but I had the board state. So that was like probably the only way for them to actually win in 2 attacks, to have this kind of combination of cards. Okay, classic 3-0 into 3-3 is possible now, but at least I'm on the play finally. Not a 2-drop, but I have a defensive 3-drop, 4-drop, defensive quite well, quite defensive with the 4 toughness, and of course this can draw me a card from the Raptor. But that needs a couple of lands to be drawn. This needs another blue. Okay, that's good. That allows me going 3-4 here at least. Hybrid. Oh, I have a blocker for that thing. Well, let's see if they just have a removal for it. Seed Core. Okay, no removal. So they have a very good start here, of course. And I have my dose here. And now I have my 5th turn 5 troll with an oil counter creature too. I'm almost tempted to attack here, but I mean they didn't attack with it on the previous turn, so I hope they're not attacking. Because of course if they do attack, I really can't block, because it's my only thing with oil counters. That allows me to draw a card. Okay, just 3 colors, drawing the cards, lands for it. I mean, I'm always saying that because it does. I mean, even I play in this deck, you know, 3 different basic lands. Who knows? Maybe they have like a forest in their deck or something. I can lock that thing down. But it's still kind of annoying to see smooth colors from the opponent. All right, so now I want to have the synthesizer down before dosing here, and I don't need to, you know, lock this guy down anytime soon. Problem is that if I don't do that, I don't have a good attack here. I don't need a good attack. Hopefully I draw an island here. But maybe I don't, I mean, maybe a spell is better. I would really just want to play these antis on the next turn. But yeah, this thing goes back to their deck kind of, and they get 3 mana 6/6 Travelers, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, they have a slow turn, but I think I have to forget about the synthesizer getting it. It is 2 counters though, it is so much. I found their removal spell. Okay, they're gonna start poisoning me in the air. Alright, so... Well, that Titanic growth does change things a lot. So now... I mean, it's still gonna be... They're gonna get this thing in the deck, but... Maybe they don't draw it. It's a good turn to play the Titanic growth, of course, because... I can fully use my mana here. It's against the tapped out, so this is no risk play. And I can even play my tapped land, well, which is the only land I have here, and a cultivator. And now they have 2 3 mana 6/6 Travelers in the deck. If they draw one of them, I can dose it. I just hope they don't draw both of them. And now they can start using the seed core after this attack goes through. Okay. Now I'm allowed to be, you know, tilted. Well, not tilted, but, you know, angry about them having this. What is this actual turn 6 and they have 4 different basic lands without fixing? I guess they drew a card there. Okay, so... I can still win the race easily now that they have... I mean, they have no play... Oh, God, but... Why would I assume they don't have a 1 mana removal there? Well, at least I got my... I don't have the black mana, so forget about that. Yeah, I mean, dying to poison here too. I can attack for 5 here. This sadly won't be getting the 4th counter yet. I don't worry about the damage they are dealing. 5 in the air is fine. I think this is a turn when I just have to go this. Now they have a seed core, so these are 3 2s if I block them. But I think I want to play the Steward this turn instead of locking down the... If I lock down the Shepherd, yes, I can attack them down to 15, but it's not necessarily that great. This way I can also make the Cultivator get a counter here, if it's worth something. It might be if I... Well, I might draw my 6-drop. This would allow me to cast it. And now I have also blockers for them. Well, okay, they... so they actually are playing... So this is a blue... No, this is a double white, so white is one of the main colors. So they're splashing the Rot Priest and they're splashing the Hybrid, which is... Well, it's very nice when they hit their 4 lands like that. Alright, so I can double block this guy and lose one of my creatures. I can't beat the Rot Priest. I mean, I would play 4-color decks if this was easy to get this kind of mana here. I'm a little bit tilted for sure, yes. But I mean, of course the card quality is through the roof if you can just play any color cards without being punished. So I'm taking here 2 plus... Well, I guess I go to 5 poison, it doesn't matter really. I'm not gonna lose a creature here. Now they can use defensive seed core because the Fetchling is of course a 1/1 that can block. So it's a 3/2 blocker there if they don't want to push for damage. I don't think why would they. Yeah, this doesn't shut down the ability here. Of course I take. Oh, no, I kind of forgot this thing is just insane. Okay. Cool down. Sorry, I tried to be cool, but it's just impossible. Because this turn was such an amazing fun for them. I thought I was still in some kind of a position to raise the opponent. But how can I be? Because this of course makes all these toxic guys deal 2 poison. I don't even draw my you know, they have all these colors and I don't have, despite my fixing the swamp here for this thing. Not that it would even help. I can lock down one of the guys. This doesn't even become unblockable. I mean, I'm facing a lethal attack here. This is 2 poison, unless I lock it down. But this makes all of their things have death touch. That have, you know. So I'm just jump blocking their things there. Yeah, okay. There's no point continuing here because I barely can even survive their next attack. Maybe I even can't. But even if I can, I will have basically no board and I will lose to their next attack because there's no card in my deck that I can draw which suddenly clears this board. Alright. I think I went 3-0 into 3-3 and what if at least the 2 blast losses were pretty frustrating, but hey, that's how it goes. I think this deck was totally fine though. I mean, the splash was totally reasonable with triple of these guys, and I have the tools to splash. And the trolls were quite easy to draw cards with. The synthesizers maybe, I do have 10 non-creatures, and some of my spells can proliferate, although maybe it is only the dose, and I suppose this if I choose not to get a land. So maybe this wasn't the greatest synthesizer deck. Yeah, I would have wanted to have more proliferating here. But still, 3 wins isn't the worst. But this was now the last of these alchemy drafts I have on the channel for this set. I will have for the next set then when it happens. And then videos will continue being traditional drafts of Phyrexia All Will Be One until the Shadows Over Innistrad Remastered set releases. And I haven't really decided yet if I'm gonna combine, have a mix of them and All Will Be One drafts, but I guess time will tell then. Let's take our at least 1,000 gems back. So I guess I bought 2 packs for 500 gems, which is almost the same as in the store. Well, you don't get the golden pack progress, but 3 wins is still much better than 2 wins in Premier. It's the spot you absolutely want to hit. 4 wins is the kind of actual break-even point, so that still would have mattered a lot, but it's fine. Thank you for watching, and sorry about the tilting, but can't help myself sometimes. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.